next door comments. First, I'll reread Pat F, because the comment that followed responds to Pat F. So that comment doesn't make sense without rereading Pat F. Why are you posting this incomprehensible nonsense on a Manhattan page? Actually, why are you posting it at all? Writes Pat F. Then SY Venezuela, also next door, reads, it's a two-part message. Effectively, she says, then SY Venezuela writes Pat. So SY is replying to Pat. It's kind of a dual message. So she or he, I don't know, Venezuela. So part of the message he or she is writing to Pat, and then there's a message for me here. These are both on the same Brad Jelena, not Jeff and Chicholina post. Pat, you may have your settings set to receive posts from all over Nextdoor community. This post showed up on my feed too, and I'm not in Manhattan. As for why they posted it, your guess is as good as mine, but the grammatical errors was torture on my eyes. So I'm going to transition to a reply from Suzanne, which came to me in one-on-one format, not Nextdoor. So I just want to be clear that these Nextdoor comments are just welcomed and fine. To call them good-natured would be true. Even though they're negative, this is just normal stuff for the internet. Something happened with this post, and the auto-curating of Nextdoor just decided a lot of people should read it. And I say that as if there's a human behind it, but there isn't. So there's just some mysterious pushing of this post, and I had nothing to do with it. I am the author. I reread the post myself. It makes me happy that this post got the attention it did. It is literally 100 times. It's already one of the most read posts of my year, and much of that is due to Nextdoor, although it was fed onto Facebook also and LinkedIn. But much of the clicks came from Nextdoor, and it's now like 100 times more. So what does that mean? That would mean that SY Venezuela has seen me for the first time. Pat F has seen this from me for the first time, and will probably never see more posts from me. Just the way this happens is a very unusual event for me, that one of my posts that's just ordinary gets pushed so broadly as this one has. As far as my grammar, broken English, hurting someone's eyes, I had one reader even threatened to stop being my reader if I didn't. She wrote, "Please, I'm begging, I'll do anything, por favor, start writing normal again." And I didn't, and she has shown by a year of continued reading that she threatened to abandon me but did not. So the criticism of my broken English is just fine. Whenever a post like this gets pushed, new readers, this is expected. Now to go back to Pat F very directly confirms what I have seen from Nextdoor, and that is Nextdoor could be called closed door, because readers seem to be attracted to this idea that I'm interacting only with my neighbors. I'm not open to the World Wide Web, I'm open to the neighborhood web. And that seems very attractive, and all of a sudden my post comes in out of nowhere, and in this case across the river. There's a mile-wide river between me and Manhattan, so I can walk just a few blocks and be at one side of the river. Depending on where Pat F is in Manhattan, she could walk to the Hudson River. We would be a mile apart. So, but nonetheless, she doesn't want anything in her feed other than Manhattan, is what I would get from her comments. So she, again, says directly what a lot of people have said indirectly, that they like a smaller version of the World Wide Web and don't like it when random stuff from far away comes into their feed. Now, finally, a message of Suzanne. If Suzanne is still listening, and this is strategically at the end, this link will go in a place replying to her one-to-one. But Suzanne, be absolutely sure we are not friends. Your message came to me one-to-one on Facebook Messenger. One-to-one messages are generally reserved for people who have a friendly relationship. We do not. Your history of toxic text to me clearly seems to celebrate negative things in my life. And in this case, you write, who wins? I always do. You're celebrating victory. I don't know how you're keeping score. But nonetheless, great. Take your win. I'm not arguing. You're victorious. Go off and bother someone else, or don't bother anyone. How about that? But whatever you do, your messages to me, especially one-on-one, are repeated and unwanted. I repeat, Suzanne, these messages to me are repeated and unwanted. We are not friends. There's no reason for us to become friends. Please be warned. Thank you for listening. Pat F. SY Venezuela. I'm not sure if I have that right. SY Venezuela and Suzanne. Ciao. Next door comments. First, I'll reread Pat F. because the comment that followed responds to Pat F. So that comment doesn't make sense without rereading Pat F. Where are you posting this in?